Why do you chase success, believing it holds the key to your happiness? Why do you pour your energy into climbing ladders? Higher salaries, bigger titles, shinier lives, only to feel emptier with each step.
Society has fed you a seductive lie, that happiness waits at the top, a glittering prize for those who achieve the most. But here's the first brutal truth. Success is a mirage, a shimmering illusion that keeps you running, panting, desperate, yet never truly satisfied. What if everything you're chasing won't make you happy? You've been taught to equate success with joy, a corner office, a packed social calendar, a life that looks perfect on paper. But when you pause, when the noise of ambition quiets, don't you feel it? That gnawing void, that whisper asking, is this all there is? The world sells success as the cure for your restlessness, but it's a trap. It's a race with no finish line, a hunger that grows the more you feed it. And the cost? Your peace, your time, your soul. Helen Keller once said, "Happiness does not come from without, it comes from within." Her words cut through the noise of a culture obsessed with achievement. Success promises to fill the emptiness, to silence the doubts, to make you whole. But how many times have you reached a goal, a promotion, a milestone, a status, only to find the glow fades in days, replaced by new pressures, new wants? The brutal reality is this: success often breeds more stress, not peace. It's a treadmill that speeds up the moment you think you've won, leaving you exhausted, chasing the next hit of validation. Why do you believe happiness lies in what you can achieve? From childhood, you're conditioned to measure your worth by external markers, grades, awards, applause. Society rewards the winners, the hustlers, the ones who climb highest, fastest, loudest. But what about the quiet moments, the ones no one claps for? What about the joy that doesn't need a spotlight? The pursuit of success blinds you to these truths, chaining your happiness to things outside your control: money, status, others' opinions. And when those things shift, as they always do, your happiness crumbles like a house built on sand. Imagine this: you wake up one day having made it. You have the title, the wealth, the life you dreamed of. But the mirror reflects the same restless eyes, the same ache in your chest. Why? Because success doesn't answer the deeper questions. Who am I? What do I truly want? What makes my soul sing? These are the questions that lead to happiness, and they can't be answered by a paycheck or a trophy. They require courage, introspection, a willingness to look within rather than chase without. The illusion of success is powerful because it's everywhere, on billboards, in feeds, in the voices of those who tell you to grind harder. But it's a hollow promise. What would it feel like to stop running? To let go of the need to prove yourself, to measure up, to win? Your heart aches for something deeper, something real. Not another goal, but a sense of peace, of enoughness, of joy that doesn't depend on what you achieve next. This is the truth society buries. Happiness is not a prize you earn. It's a state you cultivate, a flame you nurture within. Stop running toward a finish line that doesn't exist, your soul pleads. The chase for success is stealing your energy, your presence, your life. You don't need to be the best, the richest, the most admired to be happy. You need to be you fully, authentically, unapologetically. What if you let go of the illusion today? What if you chose to seek happiness not in what you can gain, but in what you already are? This is where the journey begins, not with another step up the ladder, but with a step inward, toward the truth that happiness has been within you all along. So I ask you, will you keep chasing the mirage, or will you dare to find joy in the life you're living now? The illusion of success is strong, but you are stronger. Start here, in this moment, and choose a different path, one that leads not to a fleeting trophy, but to a lasting peace. Why do you let the world's applause define your worth? Why do you tether your happiness to likes, promotions, or the fleeting approval of others? You're carrying a burden you were never meant to bear, a weight that grows heavier with every nod you chase, every glance you crave. Here's the second brutal truth. Tying your happiness to external validation is a trap, a relentless cycle that keeps you chained to others' expectations and robs you of your joy. Who are you when the world isn't watching? Pause and feel that question. It stings because it reveals how much of your life is spent performing, smiling to please, working to impress, curating an image to be admired. Society has conditioned you to believe that happiness comes from being seen, praised, validated. But every time you seek that approval, you hand over a piece of your power. You let others hold the reins to your self-worth, and they will always demand more. Why do you give them that power? Why do you let their opinions drown out the quiet voice of your own heart? Chuck Palahniuk wrote, "The only way to find true happiness is to risk being completely cut open." This is the raw truth. True happiness demands vulnerability, the courage to stand alone in your truth without needing the crowd's cheers. But external validation is seductive. It's the quick hit of a like, the rush of a compliment, the fleeting high of a promotion. It feels good until it doesn't. Until the likes fade, the compliments dry up, and the promotion leaves you with new pressures but no deeper peace. The brutal reality is this: seeking validation is a losing game. You'll never have enough, and it will never be enough to fill the void within. Consider James, a 28-year-old social media influencer whose happiness once hinged on his follower count. He crafted every post to maximize engagement, measured his worth by comments and shares. But when a post flopped or his audience dwindled, his mood plummeted. His joy wasn't his own, it was borrowed, fragile, dependent on strangers' clicks. James's story is a mirror. How often do you let others' opinions shape your sense of self? How often do you chase their approval, only to feel emptier when it's gone? What would it feel like to live for yourself, not for the crowd's applause? Imagine the freedom of waking up without checking your worth in someone else's eyes. Imagine the lightness of knowing you are enough, not because of what you've achieved or how you're perceived, but because of who you are. This is where happiness lives, not in the fleeting glow of validation, but in the steady flame of self-acceptance. But to get there, you must break free from the chains of others' expectations. The weight of external validation is crushing because it's never-ending. Every time you mold yourself to fit someone else's ideal, whether it's a boss, a partner, or a faceless audience, you lose a piece of your authenticity. You spend energy maintaining a facade, energy that could be fueling your passions, your peace, your life. Why do you keep paying this price? Your happiness is not a currency to be earned through others' approval. It's a birthright, yours to claim the moment you choose yourself. Step 1. Reflect on your values. Write down 3 things that matter most to you, e.g. love, freedom, growth. These are your anchors, not others' opinions. Step 2. Limit external noise. Take a 24-hour break from social media or any validation-seeking behavior. Journal how it feels to focus inward. Step 3. Practice self-affirmation. Each morning, affirm one truth about yourself unrelated to achievements, e.g., I am worthy just as I am. Step 4. Say no. This week, decline one request that doesn't align with your values. Notice the power in choosing yourself. Your soul is begging you to stop performing. The weight of external validation is heavy, but you can set it down. You don't need to be loved by everyone to be happy. You need to love yourself. Will you keep chasing applause, or will you dare to live for the one person who matters most, you? Happiness begins the moment you reclaim your inner compass. Start now. Let the crowd fade. Listen to your heart. It knows the way. Why do you believe happiness requires grand triumphs or glittering milestones? Why do you rush past the quiet joys of your everyday life, convinced they're too small to matter? You've been taught to chase the extraordinary, big wins, viral moments, lives that dazzle on the surface. But here's the third brutal truth. Happiness doesn't live in the spotlight. It thrives in the ordinary moments you've been conditioned to overlook. When did you last feel alive in a moment that cost nothing? Think about it. The warmth of your morning coffee, the sound of rain against your window, the fleeting smile of a stranger. These are not trivial. They are the threads that weave a life of joy. Society glorifies the epic, the promotions, the vacations, the Instagram perfect scenes. But in doing so, it blinds you to the beauty already surrounding you. You're so busy chasing what's next that you miss what's here now, quietly waiting to fill your soul. Anna Quindlen wrote, "The life you have led doesn't need to be the only life you have." Her words are a wake-up call. You don't need to rewrite your entire existence to find happiness. You don't need a new job, a bigger house, or a perfect body. You need to open your eyes to the life you're already living, to the small, sacred moments that carry the weight of joy if you let them. The brutal reality is this: by fixating on extraordinary success, you dismiss the ordinary as unworthy, and in doing so, you dismiss your own capacity for happiness. Why do you think joy must be earned through achievement? The world has convinced you that happiness is a reward for doing more, being more, having more. But what if it's not? What if happiness is a choice, a shift in perspective that transforms the mundane into the miraculous? The laughter in a casual conversation, the stillness of a walk at dusk, the satisfaction of a deep breath. These are not just moments. They are portals to a deeper peace. They cost nothing, yet they offer everything if you're willing to see them. Imagine this. You pause in the middle of your day, close your eyes, and notice the world around you. The hum of life, the texture of your clothes, the rhythm of your breath. In that pause, you realize you're not missing anything. You're not incomplete. You're alive here now, and that is enough. What would it feel like to live this way? To find joy not in what you might become, but in what you already are. This is the beauty of ordinary moments. They are always there, waiting to remind you that happiness is not a destination, but a presence. The chase for success steals your attention, training you to skim the surface of life. But happiness demands depth, a slowing down, a savoring. Why do you keep running when joy is standing still? Your life is brimming with unnoticed treasures, moments that don't need applause or validation to shine. The key is to notice them, to let them matter, to let them be enough. Practice gratitude. Each day, write down 3 small moments that spark joy, like the scent of rain or a kind word. Savor the present during one daily task, e.g. eating, walking. Focus fully on the senses involved: taste, sound, touch. Let the moment expand. Pause for reflection. Set a daily alarm to stop and ask, what's beautiful right now? Write or think about your answer. Share joy. Tell someone about one small moment that moved you, deepening your connection to its magic. Your soul is whispering, stop searching, start seeing. The beauty of ordinary moments is your birthright, a wellspring of happiness that never runs dry. Will you keep chasing the next big thing, or will you pause to embrace the joy already here? Happiness is not waiting for you in some distant future. It's in the breath you're taking now. Open your eyes. Let the ordinary become extraordinary. Start today and watch your life light up. What does success mean to you, not to the world? Pause and let that question sink in. It's unsettling because it forces you to confront how much of your life is spent chasing someone else's dream. Society glorifies the corner office, the luxury car, the perfect social media feed, whispering that these are the keys to joy. But when you achieve them, or even come close, don't you feel the ache of something missing? That's your soul reminding you. Success, as the world defines it, is a hollow trophy. It's a mask that doesn't fit, a path that leads away from who you are. Mahatma Gandhi said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." His words are a clarion call to rewrite the rules, to craft a vision of success that reflects your heart, not the market's demands. The brutal reality is this: living someone else's version of success is a betrayal of your essence. Every time you prioritize society's metrics, money, fame, power, over your own values, you drift further from happiness. You exhaust yourself running a race you were never meant to enter, chasing a prize that won't fulfill you. Why do you let the world's script dictate your story? You weren't born to fit neatly into its boxes, to grind for goals that don't light you up. Success is not one size fits all, it's deeply personal. For some, it's freedom to create. For others, it's time with loved ones or a life of quiet integrity. Whatever it is for you, it requires courage, the courage to question, to reject, to choose differently. Redefining success means asking, what makes me feel alive? And daring to build a life around the answer, even if it looks small to the world. Imagine this: you wake up each day driven not by external pressures, but by a purpose that feels like home. Your success is measured not by your bank account or your title, but by how closely your life aligns with your truth. What would it feel like to live this way? To know that your worth doesn't depend on what you achieve, but on how fully you embody who you are. This is the freedom of redefining success, a freedom that unlocks happiness, not because you've won, but because you've chosen. The world will resist your rebellion. It will call you foolish, impractical, naive. But happiness demands this courage, to let go of what others expect and claim what you value. Why keep running a race that's not yours? Your soul aches for alignment, for a life that feels true. Redefining success is not about abandoning ambition. It's about redirecting it toward what matters most to you. It's about building a legacy of joy, not just a resume of achievements. Your soul is calling, dare to rewrite the script. The courage to redefine success is the courage to choose happiness over hollow victories. Will you keep chasing the world's approval, or will you build a life that honors your truth? Happiness waits not in what you achieve, but in how you live. Start now, define your success, take one step, and watch your heart come alive. Why do you keep searching for happiness as if it's a treasure buried in some distant land? Why do you believe it's locked behind achievements, accolades, or a life that looks perfect to the world? You've spent so long chasing, running toward success, scrambling for approval, yearning for the next big thing, that you've missed the quiet truth whispering within you. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you already hold. It's woven into the fabric of your being, waiting for you to stop, to see, to claim it. This is the final truth, both brutal and liberating. You don't need to become someone else, achieve something more, or win the world's applause to be happy. You need only the courage to embrace the joy that's already yours. What if happiness is not a destination, but a presence? Pause and let that sink in. It's a radical idea in a world that screams, do more, be more, have more. Society has conditioned you to see happiness as a reward, a shiny trophy for those who climb the highest, earn the most, or craft the perfect image. But every time you reach for that trophy, a promotion, a milestone, a moment of fleeting praise, don't you feel the emptiness creep back in? The glow fades, the hunger returns, and you're left wondering why the prize didn't deliver. That's because happiness isn't a prize at all. It's a choice, a practice, a way of being that begins the moment you turn inward. The Dalai Lama said, "Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions." His words are a beacon, illuminating the path you've been searching for. You've been taught to look outside yourself, to measure your worth by what you achieve, how others see you, or what you possess. But the journey to happiness is not outward. It's inward, through the quiet moments, the honest reflections, the brave choices to live as your true self. You've learned this through every chapter of this journey. Success is an illusion that traps you in a cycle of want. External validation is a chain that binds you to others' whims. Ordinary moments are brimming with joy if you notice them. And redefining success is the key to aligning your life with your soul. Now, in this epilogue, you stand at the threshold of a profound realization. Happiness is already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Why do you keep running when joy is standing still? Think back to the moments that have stirred your heart, a laugh shared with a friend, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, the stillness of a morning when the world felt soft and kind. These are not accidents. They are glimpses of the happiness you carry always. You don't need to be richer, thinner, or more accomplished to feel this. You don't need the world to crown you a success. You need only to open your eyes, to slow down, to let the ordinary become sacred. The brutal reality is this. You've been chasing shadows, mistaking them for light, when the true light has been inside you all along. Imagine a life where you wake up not with the weight of what you must prove, but with the lightness of knowing you are enough. Picture yourself savoring a quiet cup of coffee, not because it's a break from the grind, but because it's a moment of pure, unfiltered joy. Envision saying no to demands that don't serve you, not out of fear, but out of love for your own peace. What would it feel like to live this way? To walk through your days with a heart full of gratitude, a mind free of comparison, a soul aligned with its truth? This is not a fantasy. It's a possibility, yours to claim the moment you stop chasing and start choosing. This video has given you tools to make happiness a practice, not a pursuit. Reflect on your values to reclaim your inner compass, freeing yourself from the need for validation. Savor ordinary moments through gratitude and mindfulness, turning the mundane into magic. Redefine success to align with your truth, building a life that feels like home. And embrace inner peace by accepting your imperfections, knowing that happiness thrives in the mess of being human. These skills are not just steps, they are keys, unlocking the joy you've been carrying all along. Your soul is pleading, stop searching, start living. The world will tempt you back to the chase, dangling new goals, new pressures, new reasons to feel less than. But you're stronger than its lies. You are enough, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Happiness is not a mountain to climb, it's a garden to tend, with seeds you plant every day through small, intentional acts. Write a gratitude note. Pause to breathe. Choose your truth over the world's expectations. These are the actions that water your joy, that make it bloom. What if you chose happiness today? Not tomorrow, not when you've made it, but right now in this imperfect, beautiful moment. What if you let go of the need to be more, to have more, and instead embrace the fullness of what's already here? This is the courage happiness demands, not to conquer the world, but to conquer your own doubts, to trust that you are worthy of joy just as you are. Your life is not a problem to be solved, it's a gift to be lived. So I ask you one final time, will you keep chasing shadows, or will you embrace the happiness you already hold? The choice is yours, and it's simpler than you think. It's in the breath you take, the moment you notice, the truth you honor. Happiness is not out there, waiting for you to earn it. It's here, within you, pulsing in your heart, ready to light your way. Start now. Choose joy. Tend your garden. And watch your life transform into something more beautiful than any success could ever promise.